You have studied? Okay. So switch case, before I start with these and the questions related to that, I would like to give you the brief outline of if else and switch case. Okay, so before I start, I want to ask you some questions. That is, can you tell me the difference between if else and switch case? Can any one of you tell me? At least one difference. Anyone? You can tell whatever is there in your mind. Kuheli, Indivar, Shayon, anyone from you? Ritam?
Ma'am, is it possible? Like, I want to say that in switch case, we have to give that information that, if like we have to give that statement here one time that if it's not then press 1 or press 2, like so after that we took that and write that in case 1 the print this and so we so in switch case we have to specialize that 1 or 2 after before writing the case. And yeah, and in if else we don't need to take that kind of writing.
Okay. Okay, Shayon. Anyone? Thank you. Anyone want to tell anything?
Ma'am,
Actually,
in
it
the
is a
if
matter of
else there are
probability, na?
two options, but in switch case there are many options.
In if else also we can give many options. We can write if, then we can write else if, then again else if, again else if. Many times we can write
more
else.
complex.
Okay, you can say more complex. In switch case, what happens? Directly we can go to the particular case. That is the main advantageous part in switch case over if else. If there is if else, all of you can see the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So if else and switch case main difference is we can directly enter to the particular case. Okay, so if it is case 10, if there are 10 cases before that, 9 cases before the particular case, if it is the statement says switch 10, so directly we can enter to 10th case. We don't need to check the cases from 1 to rest others. That is the main difference in that. Did you understood what I said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
the main,
ma'am,
yes,
repeat once,
yes.
ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, I can't. Can you repeat,
Yes,
ma'am, once?
yes. The main difference between switch case and if else is, in the case of if else, we can, in the case of switch case, we can go to the particular case immediately. Like we don't need to check. Control does not check from the beginning that case 1 is true or false, case 2 is true or false, case 3 is true or false. Directly we can enter to the particular case where we want to go. So suppose you have 10 statements and the case numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. So in this case, what happens? As it is switch 10, so directly we go to 10th case. We don't need to cross 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it understandable?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, but in the case of if else, what happens? We need to check case one, if first condition, then else if, again else if. Like that, you need to continuously check for the conditions. If 10th case is true, if 10th case is satisfying your condition, then you are simply wasting time for 9 condition checking. Okay. But in switch case, you are not wasting that time. You are directly going to the case where you want to enter. Okay, so this is the main advantage of using switch case over your else if statement. Okay, one more thing, this part we have discussed in last week before Kali Puja vacation. So can you all remember the limitations of switch case? If not, please go through once. In switch statement, we can write switch of x. Okay, x means suppose x can be 10. First one is understandable. Valid switch first point is understandable. Switch of x, where x can be any integer like a b, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 something, or it can be a character. Second valid case is you can write x greater than y, like some operator you can use, relational operator you can use. Third thing is you can use some expression also, like suppose you take the value of a plus b, that is 2 plus 2. Suppose a and b both are 2, so 2 plus 2 minus 2, which is 2 again. So we will hit to which case? We'll hit to the case number 2. Function thing I told we will not do now because we have not done the function. The most important thing for interview to remember is invalid switch statement. Okay, we cannot use a floating point variable as an argument of switch statement. Did you understood what I told? Suppose f is declared as float. Can you see the light purple section? Float f. So f is a floating point variable and we cannot use switch f. So it means we cannot use switch of some floating point number like 55.7, because we cannot have a case starting with the floating point. We cannot have a case like that. No, so I'm giving cross. It is not possible. Did you understood what I told? Invalid case, first one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
of you, any doubt? Okay, one more thing, obviously I cannot add one integer also. Okay, I cannot just like I can think that okay, let me take one integer and add one floating point. No, anyhow it will become a floating point. Integer plus float also will result, most of the time result, a floating point number. So in this case also we require some case whose index is floating point. So that is also not valid. Okay. Coming to the second type of valid case, you can write case 3, case A, you can write case A plus B, you can write case x greater than y. This greater than, lesser than operation is very rarely used in case. If you even don't know, that does not matter. But what matters is we can only use integer and character along with as a case index. Okay, we cannot use any floating point. Okay, so we can have we cannot have a case of 2.5. We can have a case x. We can have case x plus 2. We cannot. Okay, sorry, we cannot have a case x plus 2. Okay, like why we cannot have x value? We have not mentioned. X value we have not mentioned. So where the control will go? I need to mention either P or either 3 or 4 or 20 or something. I cannot just like that write it. Okay, and in this case, as X is used as a character, so I must need to give a single quote for using X. Otherwise, I should have a value as integer. Okay. Did you understood what I told?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And you cannot write case 1, 2, 3 also together. Okay, you cannot write that like so many cases together. You cannot write. You may think that okay, let me write so many cases together. Let me write 1, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then let me give colon. That is not allowed. Okay. Now, yes.
Ma'am, shall the cases be arranged in serial order, or can it be
That's what
like
I was
four
about
at
to
first?
tell. That's what I was about to tell. You can always have, I told last day also that I can have case 1 followed by case 3. So I don't require to have cases ordered, case index ordered in serial order. Okay, I can have case number 333 followed by case number 1. Any order you can mention. Now take one real life example. What I told you, you have 4 batches of engineering students and you have even BCA, MBA, MTech, all those things in your college and university. So you can keep a case like case MTech. Suppose it is case MTech is given a number that is 5. Your engineering 1 year 1 number 1, year 2 number 2, year 3 number 3, and year 4 number 4. So you can give 1 case number. It is not necessary that case number 5 MTech should come after B. So you can have case number 5 which indicates MTech. So when you are writing the program, you must be writing that case 5 indicates the stream MTech. Okay, so when someone is checking the record of our college, what they will do is they will press 5 value if they want to check in details of MTech. Okay, so like that, just one example I have given. Can you give some more example of switch case where we can apply? It is same thing is valid for if else also, but it is more the form of the program will be more organized. Like whichever option you want, that option, particular option you will press. So can you give one more example where we can use switch case? There are many examples possible. Can you give some more example? Like you are playing some games. So for playing all the games, suppose in your college fest you have you are the organizer of many games. So all the games will be having some rules for playing. So maybe you want to you want someone to tell what are the rules for the games. So you have created a menu that game 1 football, game 2 cricket, game 3 XYZ something. So if someone wants to participate in cricket, they will press that particular option, and in that case you would have typed all the things, all the details of that particular game. So in general, I should say wherever we want to design a menu driven program. Menu driven means in hotel also you will be provided a menu. There you will have options. So you will click on one option which you want to choose. So similarly in a program, when you will be doing a vast program, you can see in a single program you will be having multiple branches. Okay, so maybe one case corresponds to one program. So if someone is pressing 1, suppose you want to design one binary calculator, like you will be able to add, subtract, multiply and divide. So case 1 you can keep the option for addition, case 2 you can keep the option for multiplication. So if someone is pressing 1, you must write the addition program in case 1. So they will be entering 2 integers and you will be inserting the values and you will be able to execute. So one day I will give a total program day in coming Saturday, where all the programs together I will execute and show. Anyhow, switch case you have seen in the last week. So it will be a revision also, because when we go forward, we need to sometimes come back. So after finishing this if else, switch, for while and do while, there will be a revision session for this whole. Okay. Today, okay. Do you have any doubt in switch case? Can you tell me? Can you tell me, Ritam?
No doubt, ma'am.
Ritam? Okay. Very good. So we will see this thing, whatever we have done. See, in basic C, you have 2 types of statements. Please remember, this is frequently asked questions. One is conditional statement, one is loop control statement. What are the conditional statements you have? One, simply I dot if, then if else, else. You can have nested if also. Shomastri ma'am has done nested if else also. And third one is switch case. In your C language, you have loop control statement. Okay. What are the loop control statements you have? You have for, you have while, and you have do while. For, while, and do while. Okay, so three types of loop control statement you have. Conditional statement means you understood now that if you give some condition, something should happen. That is called conditional statement. Loop control statement, where the loop control statement is required. Do we have any idea? Can anyone share? Loop control statement. Can you share? Can you tell me the idea about loop control statement? For loop. Do we have any idea about for loop? Okay. Let us see one for loop first. Then we will execute. You see here how for loop works. Okay. One thing is why we need for loop. That you first understand. Why we need for loop. For loop when we need, when we want to do same type of work continuously. Same type of work continuously means, suppose I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the same type of work. I will show you some more same type of work. I want to print 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I want to print, you should tell me what same type of work we are doing here. Can you tell me what same type of work we are doing here? Can any one of you tell me?
ম্যাম ফার্স্ট একটা ইভেন নাম্বার, তারপর একটা অড নাম্বার।
Okay, first one is, yes, actually first one is 1 to 10 all.
Yes.
Yes, correct. You are correct only. Second one is all even numbers. Third one is, now what I asked is, we are doing same type of work, right? So same type of work means what? Same type of work means what? I have printed 1. Now what I did to print 2? I have added plus 1. I have added plus 1 with 1. Yes or no? Then I got the second result. I am writing. Please carefully observe. 1 I have printed. Then what I have printed? 1 plus 1. Then what I have printed? Whatever I had before. That is 1 plus 1 I had before. Then I have added once again 1 plus 1. Next what I did? 1 plus 1 plus 1 I already had, and I have increased 1 more 1. Are you able to understand what I am doing?
Yes, ma'am.
This leads to the concept of looping. What I am doing is, whatever I had previously, I am adding 1 with that. Is it clear? I had 1, I have added 1 more. I had 1 plus 1, I have added 1. I have 3 ones added. Then I have again added 1 more 1. So in next case what I did, I had initial number. Then next what I did, with initial number I have added 2. Then with this like 4, I am writing here 4 so you can understand better, but what I wrote previously is the correct way of writing. Then I have added again 2 with the previous result. So what work I am repeating? Can you tell me, my children? I am repeating addition of 2. Here also my starting number is different. Starting number is 1. Here my starting number is 2. But what I am doing here also, I am repeating the same operation. That is addition by 2. Result we got 3. Again we are doing addition by 2. So this one I can summarize as addition by 2. Similarly, this one also I can summarize the which work is getting repeated is nothing but addition by 2. But in this case what I am repeating is addition by 1. Is it understandable by everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Any doubt is there?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, what we concluded from here, I need some initial value to be assigned, otherwise I cannot start. Is it clear? If I take a variable called I must take one initial value. Yes or no? I am as of now concentrating on the first one. Let me take only first one and try to implement it by using a program. So what I am doing here? I am initializing some value. Let me take a variable I and let me initialize the value. So this is my first value. Is it clear? After initializing, what I am doing? I am incrementing the value by 1. So what will be my next value of I? I should be I plus 1. Is it clear? The second step?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the question is, I have printed here up to 10. Because we know we cannot print till infinity. I need to stop after a certain limit. So I must need to tell that where should I stop? I should stop when I is less than 11. Or in the other way, you can tell when I is less or equals to 10. So did we stop when I is less or equals to 10? Yes, we have stopped printing. Did you understood these 3 steps? I equals to 1, I plus 1 means every step I am increasing for that I wrote. Previous I is, present I differs with previous I by 1. Now let us implement this by using a C program and using a for loop. We must try to implement the same concept. So what we have done here, we have initialized for I equals to 1. Then here what we did, let me make it I equals to I plus 1. Now in the middle, see 2 things you see, because we are now seeing the syntax of how to write for loop. So middle part you neglect, last part you see first. We are writing I equals to I plus 1. So every time it means every time my previous I will be 1 less than my present I. In the middle, we wrote I less or equals to 10. What does it mean? I should have a check with the value of I that I must be less or equals to 10. It cannot exceed the value. Is this much understandable? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So let us see how the steps of the program. So you start with for I equals to 1. So I will be initialized to 1. Now second step, what is there? I'm just writing whatever is written. I is what? I'm checking with I whether the I is less or equals to 10 or not. I value is 1 here. So what I'm checking is I is less or equals to 10 or not. I'm checking that. Is it yes or no? Is it yes or no? 1 is less or equals to 10 or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is less or equals to. So my condition is true. Condition what I have checked for termination of loop. Termination in the sense where to stop. That is true. Now what should I do? I will increase my value from I equals to 1 to I equals to 1 plus 1. Okay. Now come for the numbering of the for loop, which is very important. I equals to 1 is step number 1. I less than equals to 10 checking is step number 2. This is step number 3. This is step number 3. Why? Because this I equals to I plus 1 will happen when it is the 4th step of for loop. It means what? We'll take I equals to 1. We'll take that I is lesser equals to, sorry, this is step 2. For that I wrote step. Let me write step, otherwise we having confusion. It is step 1. This is step 2. Step 2 is condition checking. What is step 3? Step 3 is entering to the for loop and doing the work function written in for. What I have written is printf I. So what will be printed? 1 will be printed. Then control will come outside the loop. Outside the loop in the sense will come for this checking condition again. Now this is your step. This is your step number 4. This is your step number 4, where you are incrementing the value of I. So what will be your I value now? Your I value will be changed to I equals to 2. Then what is the next step? Then next step is this one again. Next step is 5. Before entering to the loop, again I value will be checked. So I value is what? I value is 2 now. So is 2 less than equals to 10? Yes, I is less than equals to 10. So you will be entering to the loop, and this will be your step 6, where you will be printing the next value of I, which is 2. Again you will go here to this step. So this will be your step number 7. You will be incrementing the value of I. So I will become 3. You will check the condition. This is step number 8. Yes, 3 is less than equals to 10. So you should enter inside, and step number 9, that is, you will be printing the value of I, that is 3. Are you all able to follow, or shall I repeat this portion once again?
Ma'am,
Please
repeat it.
repeat it.
Please repeat.
Okay. That steps part is giving you any confusion. Shall I remove that step? Yes or no? Let me remove, because already it was written. Please feel free to tell, because this is the basic idea of C programming. We are just entering to programming actual part now. How for loop works? It first initializes a value to the variable. So which value it has initialized? It has initialized the value I equals to 1. Understandable? This thing happened. Is it understandable? I equals to 1.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All yes. Okay. Next step is what? I value is 1. So it is checked. I is less than 10 or not. I is less than 10 or not. I is less than 10.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
is less than 10. So what will happen? We will not execute, not we. This loop is designed in such a way that after checking these two statement execution, the next statement to be executed will be this statement. Okay, this statement. So next which statement will be executing? This statement. So what will be the result for this statement? You are printing the value of I. What is the value of I? That is 1. Is this much understandable?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
For all it is yes? Yes. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Can you say the last one? Why the value of I is 1?
It is no why. You can take value of I equals to anything. Only thing is you need to tell some initial value. That's all. It is completely your choice. You will be giving 1, or see, suppose you have given 555. So 555 is less than 10? No, it is wrong. So you can't even print 1 value. But if you would have given here 1000 or 10,000, so yes, 555 is lesser than 10,000. Okay, so what will happen? Control will enter inside, and what is the value of I? That must be printed. So what is my present value of I? That is 555. So in this case, I need to change the option to get 555 printed. Is this understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
This much. So let me change it. Let me make it to 10, and let me take any value you can take. Only thing is that whatever value you have taken, that must satisfy the condition in case if you want to enter to the loop. Otherwise, what will happen? If I take this as 0, what will happen? Control will not go to this part. Control will not come to this part. That's all will happen. But I want something to happen, so I should not intentionally do that. So you have got 1 printed. Okay. Now what is the next step? This is the next step. This is your next step now. So in this step, what will happen? I value will be incremented by 1. So what will be my current I value now? I was 1, now I became 2. Is it clear for all of you? I equals to I plus 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone clear? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So I is 2 now. Now, this will never happen. This I am totally removing any color. This will never happen now. Why? Because initialization happens only once. After that, what will happen? I value will be continuously incrementing 1 by 1. It will be checked whether the incremented value is lesser than 10 or not. If so, control will enter to the loop and the value will be printed. So now your execution will be in between these 3 cycles. So I is 2 now. 2 is less than 10. Yes. So you will be entering to the loop. So your next value to be printed will be 2. Is it clear? Control will
Yes,
move
ma'am.
to purple color.
Yes.
Very good. And it will take the value. It will become, it will make the I value to 3. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So 3 will be now checked. Here the I value is what? I value is 3 now. So 3 is less than 10. Yes, it is true. So control will enter inside and 3 will be printed. So similarly 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be printed. Now here also these values will once become 9. Now, and it will become 10 also. So when it is 10, 10 is lesser equals to 10. Yes, 10 is not lesser than 10, but equals to is satisfied. So 10 is
Yes,
less 10. Okay. So 10 also will be printed. Clear? Now I value will be how much? Again I will be incremented. So I value will become 11 now. Is 11 lesser equals to 10?
No,
Is
ma'am.
No.
11 lesser equals to 10?
No.
It is not. So control will not enter to the loop. So 11 will not be printed. So your printing ends here. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear for everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But very important question from for loop, basic for loop is, if I print the value of I, this may confuse us. Let me remove these all lines. So if I want to print the value of I outside the loop, like I just remove that X, I just want to keep this statement, let it be here, but I want to keep it here also outside. Can you tell me what will be the answer? It is not inside the loop. So for loop wise, what all things should happen, that will be implemented in this print statement, what we have kept inside the for. Okay. Now this printf is outside the for. So can you tell me the value of I? Will it be 10? What you are expecting? Think and tell me. See, last value what we have printed through this loop is 10. In the sense 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. But when we printed 10, after that also this purple color portion got executed. So we have incremented the value of I to 11. Is it clear? Like once it happened, like I value was 10. So you have done 10 plus 1. So 10 plus 1 means 11. I am just writing this portion. So I am just writing this portion. If have any confusion, I will give the same color for understanding. So this purple portion will become like that once. Can you all realize that? Earlier it was 10. Now again it will again control will come here. So 10 plus 1. So this I will become 11. So I will become 11 in this case. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So now I is 11. But whether we can enter inside the loop? No, we cannot enter. Why we cannot enter? Because it is violating our terminating condition. Please get introduced with some technical term, that is this condition of for loop, that light blue color, is called terminating condition. Terminating condition means which will help you to stop, help you to terminate the for loop. If it is not terminated, what would have happened? If I would not have taken, for loop would have continued for infinite times. I could not have stopped the for loop if I would not have given it. I could have given here some more bigger number. That is different. But if I wouldn't have given, then my for loop wouldn't have stopped. It would have continued forever. Yes. So now come back. So I was 11. 11 is not lesser equals to 10. So 11 does not get printed. But I value, last value of I was how much? It was 11. So the value what I will get outside the for loop is last value assigned to I, which is 11. Is it understandable, or I will give some more example to make it clear?
Ma'am, some of example.
Okay, here only I will give you. See, 1 minute. Okay, what is my okay? What is my I is a location? I is a memory location? Yes or no? I is a memory location. Yes or no? Yes. I
Yes,
is a
ma'am.
memory location. Okay. Now, if I is a memory location, then this is I. What was the first value in I? It was 1. Clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
First value.
Yes, ma'am.
The same location value got changed to 2. That time I was there? No. I got printed. Then again I am taking same variable for increment. So I was 1 plus 1. So I only, same variable only has become 2. Same variable I only has become 3. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All clear? Same variable only has become once 10. So whenever it was 1, I got printed. Then I overlapped it with 2. Then it became 3. Overlapped with 3. Similarly, it is overlapped with 10. So once the time will come when this operation will be I equals to 10 plus 1. So what will be the last value for I? 11. Clear or not?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
This will become 11. Now for 11 is not lesser equals to 10. So we have not seen the output as 10. 11, we have seen till 10. Now, if you see the memory value of I, what it is? What it is?
11.
It is 11. It was changed, but we could not print because it was violating terminating condition. But it has become 11. Now, other than this, wherever from program, after this, wherever in the program you will be printing I, it will be taking the last value of I, which is 11. Is it understandable by all of us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it completely clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so this is completely understandable. I will teach you better. My TurboC got closed due to some reason. 1 minute. Okay, so can you tell me one thing? Then if I want to do, let me open, and by the time you answer one question, that if I want to, can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I want to print the numbers, even and odd numbers, what should I do? What will be my initialization and what will be my terminating condition? Can you tell me? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, for odd I equals to 1, and
Yes.
the third one is I equals to I plus 2.
Very good. Third one is I equals to I plus 2. So what he told, let us prove. Let us prove I equals to 1. I want to print all odd numbers. Next, what I is less than, next I is 1. So 1 is less than 10. 1 is less than 10, correct? So in this case, we will be printing 1. Now increment will happen. So what will be the next I value? Next I value will become 3. 1 plus 2, so it will become 3. So it is true, so that 3 is less than 10. 3 is less than equals to 10. So 3 will be printed. So similarly, we'll be incrementing it to 5. So 5 will be printed, 7 will be printed. Now if you want to give limit till 100, then till 99 you will be able to print if it is odd number. Can you tell me, my children, that what will be the changes of the program if you want to print all even numbers?
I equals to 2, and the
Okay.
third one I is equals to 2, I plus 2.
Same, it will remain same.
Yes, ma'am.
Only the initial condition
Yes,
will
ma'am.
vary. Is it understandable by everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us try to execute one program quickly. See here I have done only one small change in the program, that is we have taken I and n two variables and we have written enter a number. Why we have written enter a number? You know that one small change we have made, because see, I may feel that I want to print the numbers from a particular number to particular number, like 1 to suppose odd number starting from 1 to 100. You may feel up to 200, you may feel up to 300. So let us make it user friendly by giving n. First of all, you tell me, did you understood this one line of for loop? Let me make it same as what we have studied. Initialized with 1. Terminating condition, what we wrote? We wrote something 10 or 100 or something. Here, okay, let me make it equal. I equals to I plus 1. It is same now. Now I want to make it user friendly. So what I did is I have made it n. Now what is n? N is the number which will be inserted, which will be given by the user. you being a user will be entering what is your terminating condition. That is the only difference. And as it is n, I must have some value for n. So we have scanned the value for n by using scanf %d and ampersand n. Is it understandable, this change, minor change?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me tell you the variations here. You can write I equals to I plus 1. You can only write I plus 1. You can also write I plus plus. All three will work in the same way. What I told? I equals to I plus 1. Only I plus 1 and I plus plus. All three you are allowed to write. All three are having the same meaning. Okay. Let us understand one more thing. Let us know one more thing. This type of increment is called post increment. What is the meaning of post increment is, what is the meaning of, meaning of post increment is, here, if this is, as I told you, let me make it I plus plus. Post increment means, post means what? After. Your I value was 2. With 2, you have checked the terminating condition and entered inside. Then after that, after one execution of loop, you have incremented the value of I. That is called post increment. One time of loop execution, after that the value of I got incremented to 1. Then you must ask that then where is the difference? Obviously post is there, then something else should be there. Yes, that is called pre-increment. The negative I am not showing as of now. That is called pre-increment. Pre-increment means what, you know? First it will increment, then it will enter to the loop. It means what? We were taking the value of I equals to 2. Then we were checking the condition, entering to the loop and printing 2. But in this case of pre-increment, what will happen? Before entering to the loop, value will be incremented. How much? Plus plus means 1 increment. So it implies 2 plus 1 will happen. So your first value to be printed will be 3. Let me take 1, 2. Okay, let me take 2. You tell me whether you understood or not. Pre-increment. No, I think. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Understand.
Any doubt is there? Can you please tell me? What I wrote previously? Yes. What I wrote previously? I plus plus. I plus plus means what? Same only. I equals to I plus 1. These both are same. Okay. I wrote I plus plus. What is I plus plus called? Or I equals to I plus 1 called? Post increment. It is called post increment. Now, if I, in place of that, if I write I minus minus, if I write that symbol first, plus plus I, it means what? Plus plus I means what? Pre-increment. Pre-increment means what? Before entering to the loop, I will be incrementing the value and then I will get the output. So in this case, what will be the first output? 2 only. But in this pre-increment, increment will happen first. So what will be the output? Plus, it will be added. 1 will be added before. Plus plus means addition of 1. Now if plus plus is after I, it means that will be added after execution of loop once. But if plus plus is before, it means before entering to the loop, I value will be incremented. So I cannot see 2 printed from this. I can see only the values starting from 3. So in this case, my outputs will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But in this case, if I have plus plus I, I plus plus, my outputs will be 2, 3, 4, 5. So it differs only in one place, that increment will happen first time before entering to loop, or increment will happen after entering the loop first time, then increment will happen. Did you understood the meaning? Any doubt is there?
No doubt.
No, ma'am.
This is the 2 different sets of output for post increment and pre-increment. Now we will execute. So in this case, usually we don't take I plus 1 or all those things. I plus plus implies I will be incremented one time. But you know, okay, now I don't want to tell anything extra. So I starting from 1, I can move up to 10 if you are giving the n value as 10. Then I will be I plus plus means increment I by 1. So I will be incremented once, then I value will be printed. That much is my program. So let me save the program and let us compile to get any errors if we have, and let us run it. So you are getting enter a number. So which number you want to give, my dear children? The limiting condition of for loop. So if limiting condition of for loop, suppose I am giving 12. So what will happen? It means you want the last value of I equals to 11. Can you understand? I have not given backslash n or backslash t. Are you able to understand the output? I equals to 1, I2, I3, I4, 5, I6, 7, 8, then I value 9, 10, and last I value is 11. Why last I value is 11?
I less than n, not equal.
Equals to not is given, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So equals to is not given. So the last value taken for this is, last value taken for this is 11. Okay. Now in this case, you can change it to what all we have discussed. So if you want to print the numbers, if you want to print the numbers from 2, you can change it to 2. And if you want the increment part or decrement part to be changed, that you can incorporate by writing here I plus 2. You can ask me, ma'am, you did not write I equals to I plus 2. Yes, both can be written. Some compiler, if you see it is giving some error, let us check. It is giving some error, so you can think that if the error is here, you can think that it is asking me to write I equals to I plus 2. But anyhow, it will be executed. So we are giving a number. Suppose we are giving a number 16. We are giving a number 16. 1 minute. We are giving, suppose we have given, there is some problem. We have given, suppose, a number that is 15. So in this case, maybe terminating condition, I have given something wrong. So if you are giving some number which is, okay, let us discuss this part. If we have given some number which is not in that limit, so what will happen in this case? In the sense, suppose I have given the terminating condition as 5. Okay, I have given terminating condition as 5. Okay, one more thing you tell me. I have given, suppose, terminating condition as 5 and my initial value is 10. So what will happen in this case? If my terminating condition is 5 and I have given a value that is, just I am asking you here, can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Suppose I have given a terminating condition. Okay, 1 minute. What I want to tell you is, let me give here I plus plus, and I am writing here. Suppose, let me write here 2 only. Let me write here 2 only, and see this case. Then we will change. Suppose enter a number. What value I have given for this one? I 2 only, no? I equals to 2. So what output I am getting? Am I getting any output?
No, ma'am.
Why I am
No,
not
ma'am.
getting? Can you tell me? Why I am not getting any output? Can you tell me? Because which value I have entered for n?
I is equal to n.
I, yes, perfect. I is equals to n here. So what is my value of I? Is 2. What is the value of n? Is 2. Is 2 less than 2? 2 is less than 2? Sorry.
No,
ma'am.
no.
It's
2 is
Is
not
equals.
less than 2, is equals to. So if I at least would have given it is equals to, so in this case what would have happened? I would have got at least one value to be printed. That is, at least 2 would have got printed. Okay. So can you tell me that time is less? Can you tell me the multiple, some more values? Suppose I have given, in this case I don't have 6. So what would be I am giving the value of n equals to 6. So what will be my output? 2. Then
3,
after
4,
2,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
3, 4,
5.
5.
but 6 will not be printed because
And
whenever
equals-
it will,
equals
yes. So to get 6 printed, I have to write equals to. So if I am giving equals to, it matters a lot. So one more extra value will be printed. Okay. Similarly, see one small thing I will show, just will wind up the session. I equals to, I can give any value. I plus 5. I can give, I'm allowed to give, suppose you want to print the multiples of 5. You want to give the multiples of 5. So you should start with which number? If you want to print the table of 5, you must be starting. So using for loop, you can print the tables also by changing the increment. So 5 table means how you will write. Is it correct? Is this the correct way to write 5 tables? Can you check and tell me?
Yes, ma'am, it is correct. 5 থেকে শুরু হবে, 5 5 করে বাড়তে থাকবে।
Okay, 5. Then next time what will be the increment? 5 increment, so it will be 10. Next time increment will be again 5,
15.
it will be 15. Did all of you
20,
understood? Did all of
Yes.
you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now one last thing is, for every time for loop is moving, for every value of I, for loop is moving once, incrementing, again moving, incrementing, again moving. This each and every movement is called iteration. Every movement of I. So it will be clear. So first iteration, what was the value of I? 5. So I am writing iteration number. Iteration is some word which is related to the for loop execution. So iteration 1 means first time when the for loop is executing. That is called iteration of for loop for the first value. Now I2 means second iteration. Iteration 2. What will be the value of I? 10. Iteration 3. What will be the value of I? 15. So these all values of I how many times for loop will increment is equals to number of iterations of the for loop. So if I terminate the loop by 10, usually we do it up to 10. So this loop will be executing 10 times. So how many iteration number I have in this for loop? I have total 10 iterations. I have total 10 iterations. Did you understood that for this there will be 10 iterations? Did you all understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? Can
Yes,
you please
ma'am.
ask me any doubt? Iteration meaning you understood? For every value, for loop will be repeated. For every value of I, for loop will be repeated. Iteration is number of times one for loop is executed. Okay, control is coming to for loop, going to execute the statement what is there in the for loop, again coming back. So how many times it is going inside, that many times it is iterating. And always what I told you is that you please practice giving the brackets. If you are please practice giving the brackets. So you must be giving a bracket. Okay. So, and one more thing also, that bracket, inside the bracket you can give any number of lines. That does not matter. Okay. It is as usual like if else. So it can, like I can have some calculations here, a equals to something plus something, anything I can have. Yes.
Ma'am, I don't have much data, ma'am. Can I leave, ma'am?
Yes, yes, you can leave. It is over. Yes. Thank you so much for telling. Okay.
Ma'am, have you
So-
taken?
No, I'm just finishing. Seconds, few seconds. Okay. So you can keep any number of lines inside the for loop. Okay. That's all for today. Okay. You can leave. I can understand you have this data problem. Okay. Thank you
Ma'am,
so much.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I have
Yes.
question.
Yes.
ম্যাম ইটারেশনটা এখানে i is less than equals to 10 ছিল আর i is equals to 5 ছিল, তাহলে আর i 5 করে বাড়বে, তাহলে তো এখানে দুটো ইটারেশন হওয়ার কথা। এই
Yes,
program
yes,
টা-
yes. Obviously.
হ্যাঁ,
I
10টা হবে।
told by mistake. Any. How many it will be? You tell to
আর
get.
two,
I want 10 values to be printed. So which value I should give here?
50, তবে তো 10টা আসবে।
So 50. I have to adjust this accordingly. If I write 10, okay, I will be getting only 2 values. I will not be having, very good. I didn't notice. So you can have, if you want 10 values to be printed, 50. If you want 100 values to be printed, that into 5 you should do. How many values to be printed, that into 5 you should do, and you will you will set the terminating condition of your for loop. Thank
Yes,
you so
ma'am.
much. Yes.
ম্যাম I have another one question.
Yes.
I am not, ম্যাম আমি বুঝতে পারছি না printf এর লাইনটা, এই এখানে যে printf টা আছে, i is equals to % d লেখা কি?
হ্যাঁ,
হ্যাঁ, i is
I-
equals to,
I is equal to % d means when it will be printed, this I equals to text should come.
oh,
Okay,
ma'am.
if I don't give anything, nothing will happen. What is your name?
ম্যাম রিতম প্রামাণিক।
So I can write Ritam here. So what will be printed here? Ritam.
রিতম printed.
Ritam will be printed. Okay, sorry, capital I have given, so obviously it will be as it is. So Ritam. Then if you want that there should be one equals to, that will be printed. If I want this and sign symbol to be printed, that will be printed. So it is according to my choice. So what we have given after that, that is equals to the %d. So %d will be replaced by the variable here. %d will not be printed. So Ritam equals to will be printed, and in place of %d what will happen? Value of I will come. So value of I is this. And backslash n we have given, so that the next value
না,
will be next value again Ritam equals to same should be printed, and that should be the same value. If you would have given, you would have not printed in the same value. It does not matter, but it does not matter. That's it. Any
Ma'am, I
other
have,
question?
yes ma'am, I have another question.
হ্যাঁ।
আগের দিন যে প্রোগ্রামটা করছিলাম আমরা সাবট্রাক্ট, অ্যাডিশন, মাল্টিপ্লিকেশন, কেস 1 তাহলে আমরা রেজাল্ট ইকুয়াল টু নাম্বার 1 প্লাস নাম্বার 2,
Okay.
কেস 2 রেজাল্ট ইকুয়াল টু নাম্বার 1 মাইনাস নাম্বার 2, কেস 3 রেজাল্ট ইকুয়াল টু নাম্বার 1 ইনটু নাম্বার 2। তো রেজাল্ট করে দিতে হবে না অ্যাডিশন, সাবট্রাকশন, মাল্টিপ্লিকেশন?
A result equals to means see, you have taken only one variable result, and in your program only one case will exist. So if you take A, B, C, D for printing different variable, you have to take different 4 variables. So we have taken only a single variable and we have used it for printing every time, because in now only one will be printed, only one case can be true at a time for one time of program execution. Your question answer is you can take any number of variable for printing this. But what will happen, you know, so many variable will take so much of memory. Instead of that, if you take only one variable, because anyhow only one case will be executed. Okay. That is the reason we have taken only one variable.
আর another is কেস 1 এর আগে আমরা একটু সুইচ চয়েস ব্র্যাকেটের মধ্যে নিয়েছিলাম, ওই চয়েসটাকেও এর মধ্যে ইনিশিয়ালাইজ করে দিতে হবে।
Choice. হ্যাঁ,
সুইচ চয়েস,
switch. Yes, switch in between n if you give, or choice if you give.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
That is a variable, so you must have to declare it. It can be either character or it can be an integer.
আচ্ছা ম্যাম।
Only
আর
two
ma'am-
options.
আর ম্যাম আরেকটা লাস্টই কোশ্চেন আছে, ওটা ম্যাম
হ্যাঁ,
আগেই
হ্যাঁ,
করেছিলাম।
হ্যাঁ,
আমি একটা প্রোগ্রাম করেছিলাম, আমরা GTHCH ইউজ করেছিলাম,
হ্যাঁ।
ওইটা ম্যাম কি একবার বলবেন?
I forgot to show today. I have closed. Okay, get
Okay, ma'am,
ch
next-
means getting a character. Get
Huh.
ch means you can get a character. Put ch means you can put a character. Instead of scanf, you can use get ch. Instead of scanf, if you
Huh.
give get ch rhythm, you declare character rhythm, like rhythm as character, like char c we declare, no? Similarly, if we declare char c or char rhythm, now if you write get ch rhythm, so rhythm can accept one character. Instead of scanf, you can write get ch to scan a character.
আচ্ছা, আর গেট সিএইচটা কি কোনিও এইচ এর ভেতর থাকে? কোনিও
Conio
ডট
h দিতে পারো, you can give stdlib.h, conio.h.
আচ্ছা ম্যাম। ম্যাম গেট সিএইচটা আপনি যখন পরের দিন প্রোগ্রাম করবেন না, একবারটি দেখাবেন তো আমি
Okay.
জিজ্ঞাসা করব।
Okay,
ঠিক আছে?
sure.
ওকে ম্যাম, থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাম,
Thank you so much.
গুড বাই ম্যাম।
Thank you, ma'am.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you, ma'am.
much. Thank you.